Kundalini, Kundalini, Kundalini. My Kundalini's on fire. Kundalini. This is a term that has been on fire throughout the earth right now. Boom. What is really Kundalini? To fully understand the Kundalini energy, we have to really predate back thousands of years, okay? Because this is not a new idea, this is not a new term. This is a word taken from the Indian tradition of Hinduism that means to coil, kundal, to coil, this serpentine energy at the base of the spine that is coiled, that is dormant. This primordial energy, this power, this force that is our innate right as human beings to tap into this energy. Now, how do we know that it's there? Has science caught up with this yet? If I feel in my body and I feel in between my legs, at the base of my spine, right, especially around my perineum section, under my sexual organs, I feel a lot of energy. I feel a lot of strength and a lot of power in this area. To fully understand the Kundalini energy, I really believe we need to go back thousands of years. And if you look cross-culturally from Egypt to Mexico to India and Tibet, this same idea of this Kundalini serpentine energy is ubiquitous. It is cross-cultural. It is shared. Tens of thousands of years ago, there are statues of deities like Horus, the falcon-headed god, with a serpent coming out of his third eye. Now, this was a symbol that this being had awoken this energy, had rose it up the spine, and was now fully enlightened. In Hinduism, in India, we see Shiva with the cobra around his neck as a symbol of mastering this energy, a yogi that has full power over the cobra, the Kundalini. The cobra. So you also see that Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan of the Aztecs and the Maya, he was the feathered serpent god. The serpent rises up the spine, it ignites the spine, and the arms flap like the wings. We are Quetzalcoatl. We are the feathered serpent. We can look at the staff of Hermes from the Greek tradition, a traditional staff with the two serpents coming up in the wings. We're beginning to see similarities. In the Chinese tradition, Kuan Yin rides the dragon, the serpent, the conqueror of the flying serpent. It's a ubiquitous understanding. It's an ancient wisdom, this energy. And what are you going to do with it? That's the question. So what's been taught through the millennia is that human beings have these certain channels in their body. The yogis call them nadis. In science, we know them as nerves, veins, all these little intricate things running through the body, carrying energy throughout the being. And the yogis would say, in my belief, it is very important for us as beings, human beings, to keep this network open, healthy, and active. It's like the cables of our computer or the grid, the electric grid or anything, but it's in our own body, right? These thousands of nadis, it's an energetic matrix in our own bodies. I mean, what a gift to have this. So let's do our best to keep them open. If they're open and they're flowing, we're happy, we're healthy. Now, what we've also discovered is that there is a duality in this earth and also in our beings. And that duality shows up as the masculine and the feminine principle. And it's all over the place. You can't hide it. And it's also within these nadis. And so in yoga, what we've discovered and what we call them is the Ida and the Pingala, right? It's like the sun and the moon energy. These two different energies that cross up the spine, which is our central channel, the Sushumna. It's the pillar of light, where a lot of information and a lot of energy is exchanged, and that's why it's so important for us to keep good health of our spine. If we have a healthy spine, we have a healthy mind, we have a healthy body. It's very important. These three major nadis or energy pathways are the most important to be focusing on because they carry so much energy. So the major, it's like the highway, is the channel, the sushumna, the spine. It's where all the chakras lay and they all spin. Now, that's where the Kundalini wants to go. That's where this serpent energy wants to go, right? She wants to go up the spine and open your chakras, and she wants to come out the crown and enlighten you. So this Kundalini energy wants to go up, right? This serpentine energy wants to rise up the spine. Now the trick is that you want her to go up the spine. You want her to go up the Sushumna. You don't want her to go up one of the left channels or the right channels or the little tiny channels because they're going to be too small for her. She's big and she's coming. So what do you got to do? You got to work on keeping your nadis open. You got to keep the sun and the moon in balance first. How can you do that? Exercises like the alternate nostril breathing. In the left, out the right, in the left. In my experience with the Kundalini energy, this is not an energy that you want to go whack. It's like hitting a snake and abruptly awakening her. And this is a very, very soft process, and it can be that way. Though it's up to you to prepare yourself, and that's where the hard work comes in. Now, on this channel, I'm going to be sharing all these amazing techniques to open your nadis, to open the Ida, the Pingala, the Sushumna, so you can have a real experience of what it's like to be open and clear. And then when the Kundalini chooses to rise, or when it's your time, or the stars align, or whatever happens, then you can call her sweetly, and then she'll stay up. Because now anyone can rise their Kundalini, right? Like you could take some drugs, or you get hit, you're playing volleyball and your spine gets hit and you have an awakening or a near-death experience, or something happens and you have a Kundalini awakening. Are you able to sustain that energy? Is your nervous system and your glandular system able to sustain it? And are you ready mentally and spiritually to keep that energy up? Again, beings like Shiva, Quetzalcoatl, these deities that we know as enlightened ones or demigods or gods or fairy tale myth beings, they're the ones that were able to sustain that energy, to keep it always alive, because everything is activated, everything is stimulated, everything is dancing. Now, this is my understanding of the Kundalini energy. And have I personally experienced it? Yes, 100%. I've been practicing this stuff for 15 years, and I've been really, really consciously working at it. And in this process, I've had my ego crushed many times because I've gone farther than I should have. I've been warned by masters that said, hey man, calm down a little bit, calm down, your time will come. Just keep going day by day. And I've learned to find this balance where I continue every day to stay healthy and to stay charged without overdoing it. Please take that to heart. Kundalini, the Kundalini, Kundalini. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we can become superhuman.